Kids, when I was your age, I didn't know who I wanted to be. From Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and eating chocolate cake to music and friends and then you. Honestly, I have no idea what we did with all of our spare time before you came along.
You're the light, you're the night, you're the color of my blood. You're the cure, you're the pain, you're the only thing I wanna touch. Never knew that it could mean so much, so much.
Your first steps, your first smile, your first words, your first day at nursery and first day at school. Your first curry where you realised it's now your favourite meal, your first time on a plane, your first holiday. You can find these moments anywhere.
So love me like you do, la la, love me like you do. Love me like you do, la la, love me like.
The first time when we went to Legoland with your friend Harper, you spent the whole day laughing and smiling and just having the best time ever. And when we came home, you gave me the biggest hug. And those words, thank you, Daddy. I had the best day ever.
I remember Daddy.
Man, you really got me there.
What are you waiting for?
When I first met your mum, I knew at that moment that she was something special. Like beyond the wild, exciting and funny personality, was something that I'd been looking for pretty much my whole life. Like it's hard to describe it to anyone who hasn't found it themselves, but to me, it was everything I'd been searching for. And we're still learning how to do things too. How to best raise the two of you, how to stay fit and healthy, what food is good, what food is bad, and how to find balance in this noisy world. There are just so many choices. And we don't get it right every time. Like sometimes we shout, sometimes we forget, sometimes we regret what we say, sometimes we regret what we didn't say. But the thing is, above all else, the thing that matters the most is that we try.
What are you waiting for?
You see, getting older isn't about working as much as you possibly can to earn as much as you possibly can, counting down the days until you're both grown up and living your best lives. Getting older is realising that I want to work as little as possible whilst spending as much time with you and your mum and family and friends as we can. Having family barbecues, water fights, taking you on adventures.
Yeah.
Going pumpkin picking together, and maybe even watching all 34 Marvel movies back to back, when you'll let me, perhaps. Now in this life, you're going to find yourself thinking that something matters when it doesn't. Like it doesn't matter who made the mess, clean it up. It doesn't matter who got there first, you are there together. It doesn't matter how big your TV is, as long as you're enjoying what you're watching. And it doesn't matter if it's Apple or Android. Take that picture, shoot that video. What matters is that you have a place full of love, full of laughter and full of happiness. A place to be comforted when you're sad, a place where you can be safe, and a place you can call home. So let's get straight to it. iPhone 16 Pro versus the S24 Ultra. Now it's been a year, that's for sure. And this is really the fundamental thing that I keep coming back to in, well, a lot of my videos, in that they are both great phones. Like, honestly, I'm not sure how many more videos I can keep making about the S24 Ultra. This will probably be the last one because, well, the S25 Ultra will be next month, so I guess there's that. But next year, I really don't think it's going to go the same way as 2024 did. So I just thought I'd wrap up this year by doing a quick kind of just down-to-earth, real comparison with a bit of a like reality check on which phone is better between the iPhone and the S24 Ultra, because that seems to be the thing that everybody is interested in this year. And I can summarize it really simply as this. If you are bored of your iPhone, get the S24 Ultra. Now, if you're bored of your S24 Ultra, get an iPhone. Now, with that said, in terms of the specifics, let's talk about the cameras. Now, the key thing for me here is that both the iPhone and the S24 Ultra cameras are great. Like, both of them can take photos of fast moving objects, aka kids, without many issues. I've seen a few people say that the S24 Ultra isn't fast enough, but again, personally, I've not had any issues with this. Now, I love the portrait shots that both of these cameras shoot. The video definitely feels smoother with the iPhone, but in terms of the actual quality themselves, they are both on par with each other. And like I said, for me, when it comes to cameras, as long as I can capture these moments and memories like good enough to come back to when, you know, I'm old and I'll be able to relive these things, that is what matters to me. Like, I'm not gonna go and complain and go, oh, that's an awful photo because it missed the edge detection around my child's ear. Like, I'm gonna complain if, you know, shots are really bad, you know, out of focus, blurry, you know, the focus keeps hunting back and forth in videos, which I've had a few times, honestly. Like, my iPhone hunts focus quite often in videos, whereas the S24 Ultra missed the focus a few times, like choosing to focus on persons in the background of the photo rather than my actual, you know, kid or the person I'm taking a photo of. So neither of them are perfect, that's for sure. But we are talking about two $1,000 or pound plus phones now, and not a single one of you are going to be, you know, laid on your deathbed thinking, should have bought an iPhone. Like, you're just not going to. It's not how it works. Now, for the design, I would say that the iPhone feels way more comfortable to hold than the S24 Ultra, even when compared to the Pro Max. This is just the Pro version, mainly because the S24 Ultra has these, you know, squared edges, which do feel uncomfortable after a while of holding. But then, of course, the S24 Ultra, you get the S Pen. Now, this is something I didn't tend to use that, you know, personally, but the kids absolutely love this thing. Like, seriously, I can't underestimate how many times when I get a new phone to test, both of my kids are like, can we draw on this one? Only to find out that, you know, that phone doesn't have a pencil or an S Pen. Now, a quick shout out here to MagBack, actually, who are sponsoring this video, who are finally launching their Elite case for the S24 Ultra. Now, in my eyes, it is one of the best phone cases around, mainly because of the ultra strong magnets that let you stick the phone anywhere metal. Like, genuinely useful in the gym, great for taking photos. You can literally stick your phone up and then use the S Pen to remotely snap photos. Really, really good use case there. Now, the case also has raised edges to protect the screen. It protects the cameras on the back. It has a magnetically secured kickstand, which is really useful. And those magnets are crazy strong. Like, you can literally attach a MagBack wallet, which you can now get engraved, by the way, and spin the wallet and the phone around your finger without your phone flying off. Very, very cool. Now, there will be a 15% discount using the link in the description down below, and a huge thank you to MagBack for, once again, working together and sponsoring this video. Next up is the battery life. And honestly, compared with the two, they both have their good and their bad days. Like, both of them have had software updates over the year, which make them worse and then make them better again. So in terms of battery life, both of them are very, very similar. But the one bonus is the S24 has over the iPhone is that it charges faster. Now, on paper, the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max can charge at up to 45 watts, but in reality, it's still pretty much stuck around 27 watts. Whereas on the actual S24 Ultra, you definitely get faster charging over on the iPhone. And that is a real help when you need to, you know, quickly top up when you're going to go out somewhere, and you can get like 50% charge in 30 minutes on the S24 Ultra. Again, hugely helpful when you're going to go out or just quickly charge before you go to work in the morning. But the big one that you can draw so many comparisons to is the software. Now, you've got iOS 18 versus Android and One UI, and the, you know, both connected ecosystems. Now, the truth is, Samsung does have a great ecosystem, arguably far better than Apple, since it has far more than just a, you know, a phone, a watch, a tablet, a laptop, and a TV box. Samsung has washers, dryers, air conditioners, fridges, freezers, like all of these things, all of them connected to each other and doing some pretty cool things still. Now, Apple does seem to have nailed the simplicity side of things. You don't need to learn how to use features. They just kind of basically appear in day-to-day use and be like, oh, hey, you're trying to type something in on your TV. Do you want to use your phone for that? Or, oh, hey, your friend's trying to connect to your Wi-Fi. Do you want to share the password with them? It's like the modern and super helpful version of Mr. Clippy. Again, neither is better than another here. Like, it totally depends on whether you are happy with the ecosystem you've chosen. And if you're not, then that is a reason to go check something else out, because honestly, the truth is, both of them are pretty great. Now, one area where there is a difference though is AI, in that currently the AI features, or rather Apple Intelligence features on the iPhone, are mostly missing. Now, yes, we can erase things from photos and record things and then summarize things, but the AI features will totally depend on the features you actually use. But for me, I still rarely use any of them across, both Apple or Samsung or any phone I've been using this year. And whilst Gemini is arguably much better than Siri, I still struggle to find any real world use cases in, my day-to-day life. Like in a recent video, I showed that Gemini could plan like a whole trip for you, finding the right flights at the right times and the right kind of economy and premium economy, whatever it is, which is really cool to see it do that. But are you going to trust what the AI system has planned for you? I always want to look for myself and, look at the options. Sometimes there isn't the perfect flight. Sometimes you have to go late at night and risk the kids not sleeping on a flight, or take an early flight and end up paying for an extra night stay at the hotel. It's just not something that I feel comfortable having an AI make that decision for me without me seeing the options. Now, for me, it is what Apple Intelligence originally promised to do, but to be clear, does not do right now, that I'd actually like to see across all phones. Like just being able to conversationally say, oh, hey, can you send that photo we took of us and the kids at the park last weekend and send it to my parents on WhatsApp? Or ask it something like, I totally forgot to pay someone something. I can't remember what it is. Are there any messages I've received recently chasing me to pay for something? It's where AI is heading for sure, but we are not there just yet. And that's the thing. Does the S24 Ultra have the best camera? No. Does the iPhone have the best camera? Also, no. Does either of them have the best charging or battery life? No. But they are both the full package. I was recently testing out the Honor V3 folding phone, and as much as I love the whole foldable phone thing, I just found myself yearning for a Pixel 9 Pro Fold yet again. iPhone and Samsung and to that same extent, Google have great products with great ecosystems. It just depends on which brand you want to stick with, or which one you want to switch to and try. So I think 2025 is going to be a very interesting year. There are a lot of new players in the market, or rather players in the Chinese market, who are coming into the US and to the rest of the world. So many people at these press events I've been to recently in Amsterdam, in Dubai, so many people were dailying the Vivo X200 Pro as their actual main phone, because they said the camera was just unbeatable. And so all it takes would be for these big Chinese brands to start shipping worldwide, however difficult that may be with, people wanting to charge import fees and all that kind of stuff. But all of a sudden, then we have brands with the best cameras, the best charging tech, with the fastest speeds, and with software that is still improving all the time. We've also got the Snapdragon 8 Elite chip coming in 2025, offering huge improvements in performance, in battery life, in AI features. And so I am just super excited to start using devices powered by that chip. So the iPhone versus Samsung debate continues, but stick around in 2025, because whilst this year was the year of minor and incremental updates, well, I actually have some inside information that I just can't tell you yet, but there are some pretty cool things happening in 2025. So maybe subscribe. And remember, what's important is not what phone you choose to use. What's important is that you have something that's up to the task of doing what you need it to do. Capture memories, connect with your friends, lose an hour scrolling TikTok or Instagram if you wish. But whether it is a Samsung or Pixel or Xiaomi or Huawei or Honor or Poco or OnePlus or an iPhone, it doesn't really matter.